Kia ora and welcome to Beer Club with Beer Jack and me, Luke. Today we are drinking Neighbourhood, which is a beer from our neighbourhood. So the story of this beer from Brave begins just down the road from here in Auckland on Dominion Road, which is where founder Matt first got into brewing while he was studying. So of course, Brave is now very much a Hawke's Bay brewery. It's an absolute must visit when you're in Hastings. Amazing location. But yeah, it all started just down the road from here with Matt when he was studying science technology and sociology, I think it was, and got really, really into brewing beer. And that linked in with traveling around the States, working in audio and discovering all the great craft beers. One thing led to another, and before he knew it, he was New Zealand's champion home brewer. So that was 2013. And they ramped things up pretty quickly. They relocated from Auckland to Hastings in the beautiful Hawke's Bay, where they'd have access to a bit more space, a little bit less competition, and just living in that wonderful part of our country. And they started selling Brave beer at the local farmers market in Hastings, and it went gangbusters. But this American brown ale was the very first Brave recipe, and it's a great style. It's a style you don't see a lot of. Regular Beer Club members and viewers will know that I'm a huge fan of brown beers, and you don't see enough around. It's kind of a strange thing. People are really put off drinking brown beers. At the tap room here, where we have loads of guest taps on, we put a keg of this on tap, and also a keg of the brilliant Stay Gold, the Brave XPA. And the XPA sold out probably in a weekend. And this kind of hung around. It had loads of fans, and Rachel, our bartender, it was one of her favourite beers, and I love it. But yeah, I don't really understand why a lot of drinkers aren't really into these beautiful chestnut, copper-coloured brown beers, because yeah, it's a beer style and a beer colour that I love. And of course, the American brown ale, similar to the story of American pale ale and IPA, really. Roots in the beautiful nut brown ales of England, things like Newcastle brown ale you'll be familiar with, and just made bigger, bolder, fresher, more hop forward. Those beautiful West Coast American hops, things like Cascade and Centennial in there. And yeah, just that lovely balance between the maltiness and those sort of like nutty flavors and pecan flavors. Just with the beautiful liveliness and sort of freshness of the hops that give you a lovely bit of bitterness and just keep you coming back for more, really. Brave is Matt, who founded it, with his wife Gemma. So they've moved around a couple of times, but the last 5 years or so, they've been in a really beautiful building in Hastings. I think it's the former newspaper building, the Tribune. It's a very busy tap room, and it's a really cool place to visit because it's a hub for everybody. It's not just beer nerds like us. You go in there any night of the week, and it's packed with people that are drinking soft drinks or pink wine, as well as, of course, big beer nerds. They're really part of their community, their neighbourhood. They work closely with a lot of their friends. So it's great in the story about the designers that came up with the iconic tiger milk that makes up the majority of their sales, and it is a lot of New Zealanders' favourite beer. It's just a really, iconic is exactly the word for this West Coast IPA. But the look and the branding and the artwork is such a huge part of it. That cow with tiger stripes. And there's just a really great design aesthetic that goes through everything that Brave do, which I think is so important. The experience for a drinker, it's not just the liquid in the glass, it's how you feel about the whole thing, and the package and the design, and the Brave logo of that great trumpet is so good. And that really flows through to the tap room and their aesthetic, and every part of it. And there is a podcast that you guys should watch. So I'll keep this video fairly short today because I also want you to check out the podcast, which is also on YouTube, so you can watch the live recording, which is Third Pint Theory, which is a New Zealand beer podcast from Michael Donaldson, who's the great journalist and author who's behind the Pursuit of Hoppiness magazine that we chuck into all of your subscription boxes, and also Martin Bridges, who's a great writer. So yeah, there's a really good interview with Martin at the Brave Tap Room, chatting to Gemma and to Matt about their whole story. So it's a really great, I think it's about 45 minutes or an hour. So really great to listen to or check out the video. So go watch that. That's way better than this drink along. We should start doing more interviews with brewers again. So excellent beer from a fantastic brewery who, yeah, I knew I was missing something. There's something I needed to say. They're New Zealand's Champion Brewery. So the Brewers Guild Awards that happened just recently, a few weeks ago. So the Champion Small Brewery and the Champion Overall Brewery of New Zealand, which is no mean feat. Really, really incredible achievement for Brave, about which nobody was surprised. They have such a great reputation amongst drinkers, but also amongst brewers, and everybody in the industry has such respect for the sort of beers that Brave are putting out. Just really fantastic stuff. And it has been a few years since we've had bottles in the beer joke boxes. Years ago, we stopped putting bottles in the boxes because they're a pain in the ass. They're heavy and expensive to ship. We had a good amount of breakages. The boxes needed to be bigger, so they take up a lot more space in our chiller, and there's just so many downsides to having glass bottles. But a few weeks ago, it was actually when we had this on tap here at the tap room, and I just think how fantastic it is. And we had a few boxes that were taller boxes in stock, and yeah, I was thinking about how so many breweries are limiting their range these days. There are less new releases that are coming out on the market from breweries. So yeah, we kind of are getting back to those days of 10 or 11 years ago when I started Beer Jerk, and it was a real job to find a different beer every week. And we've never repeated anything. We were on 540 or something. So yeah, I was thinking about all the great breweries, well, the 2 or 3 great breweries around the country that only put their beer in bottles that we were missing out on. So brilliant to get this out to you guys. And in a couple of weeks, we've got another bottle coming up from another really fantastic smaller brewery that puts most of the beer in bottles. So I might start sprinkling a few more bottles in the future in the boxes, which is a really cool thing to be able to do. And yeah, the reason that Brave still have bottles is because it's really expensive to get rid of your bottling line and install a canning line. It's a huge thing, and when it's a perfectly good bottling line and bottles are great and keep the beer really well, it's a really tough and expensive decision. But it is the right decision for virtually all breweries because drinkers want to buy cans for many, many reasons. Cans aren't better, they're just different. But Brave decided to stick with it because they're in wine country, and a lot of their trade customers were wineries and restaurants, and definitely those sort of more old-fashioned establishments very much have the mindset that bottles are fancier and better, and that it's kind of low class to have a beer can on your table if you've got white tablecloths. So that's another reason why Brave stuck it out, and they've stuck with it for so long that it's kind of come full circle, and that's their point of difference now. And you know, the bottles and the labels do look beautiful, and they do stand out. A few years ago when I was last in England, and there's a similar story with the Colonel from Bermondsey, who are a brewery that I adore and have huge respect for, and they're pretty much the only craft brewery around that still has their beer in bottles, and they've stuck with it for so long that it becomes a real point of difference, that your brown bottle sticks out amongst the ocean of brightly coloured cans. So yeah, I think it's pretty bloody unlikely that Brave will suddenly start doing cans, because there's kind of no reason to. So it was good that they were able to hold out for so long. I'm sure that lots of people were asking for cans. But yeah, cool to be getting some bottles out, and lovely old school 500ml bottles at that. All right, I'm going to leave you there. Go and watch the Third Pint Theory podcast thank you for joining us. Thank you to Gemma, Matt, the whole Brave team for making some fantastic beers. We will see you again next time. Cheers.